Hi guys, so it's my birthday today, that's why there's some balloons behind us, and apart from doing nothing today, I've been promising to interview my husband, who is Sports Doc Dubai, his name's Al, on my Instagram TV about male hormones, just because I'm all pretty passionate at the moment on female hormones, but I think it's so important for us, especially as women, to understand our husbands and their hormones and the things we're doing in our lives to try and balance our own potentially could be helping them. So obviously in the light of what's going on at the moment in the world and Corona and the stress that all of you are under, I mean it's just another level of stress. We thought we might talk about the effects of Corona or stress on our sleep, because the birthday present that I got this year was a Polar Ignite wearable watch. Obviously it's a wearable watch, but wearable, which is the cool jargon for things we can sort of track our physiology with. And Al has his one that he's had. What's yours called?
Polar Vantage V.
Okay, so we're those freaks. Oh, and he also has this cool Aura ring, which also helps him track a whole bunch of stuff. We will do another episode on wearables because I'm super into it, but one weekend. But the cool part with this watch is that obviously it tracks my sleep, and so we discuss / compete every morning on sleep and who had the most deep and REM and heart rate variability and all of that. So I know most of you are probably not sleeping really well, because we've even noticed a change in our sleep over the last few weeks, and obviously with a newborn en route in 2 months it's going to definitely affect that more. It's actually probably going to be quite a joke to watch watch track your sleep with a newborn. But I wanted Al to he's a physician, and I wanted him to sort of give us a bit of a medical angle today on, first of all, how do we know if we're not sleeping well? Like, if you don't have a wearable, what should you look for?
Yeah, a good question, because I think you don't actually know. It's really just a subjective feeling. Somebody asks you the next, how did you sleep last night? You'll be like, well, I think I slept well, or I think I slept badly. You can't, in this day and age, you don't have to anymore think how you slept. So I guess subjectively is the one thing, and then otherwise then you've got a wearable. You've got some sort of tracking device to tell you, how you think. And I don't take 100% from my wearable, because I still, it's important to subjectively think, like, not because the watch said that you slept badly, but how did you think you actually slept? But just to be able to have a bit more data, to be able to compare and make a bit more of an educated decision, and over time track things, and then the algorithms and all that learn you and learn what your baseline should look like, and then you can compare it to your normal baselines and take your subjective feeling into place and see how you're feeling the following day, and are you refreshed, and
if your feeling is actually right. So if you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, that was a shocking night's sleep, then you look at your watch and you're like, actually it wasn't so bad. Okay, so what are the, if I had to say three of the most important things to look at with your wearable, if you do have one, what would you say in terms of sleep? What should we look at?
So for me, the first thing I look at is heart rate variability. Okay. That's why I have 2 devices that measure the heart rate variability, the Aura ring and the watch, and I compare them against each other to see. We can talk more about heart rate variability if you want later, but heart rate variability, the continuity of sleep or the fragmentedness of the sleep, how many wakeful periods did you have in the night? I've sometimes let you wear the Aura ring. It's amazing to see the differences, because my sleep is quite the restlessness of my sleep. How many spikes do I have compared to what you normally have down there? So the restlessness / continuity, the heart rate variability, and then the different components of that, which is not, I would say with a bit of time it will get more accurate, but you get a good guide to how much deep sleep you're getting, and how much REM sleep and how much light sleep that you're getting.
And what happens in deep sleep?
Deep sleep's important for cell repair and regeneration. So all the damage you've done to your body in the day gets repaired at night in your deep sleep. So if you're not having a lot of deep sleep, you're not getting a lot of cell regeneration.
And obviously if your cells are not regenerating, that's how you get sick.
Correct.
Okay.
And then your REM sleep is your memory processing, your dream state, your thoughts from the day. Everything gets processed in your REM sleep, and then light sleep is light sleep. It's just a level below wakefulness.
Okay. So if we think about hormones, so now obviously our bodies regenerate through the night, and obviously if we're having poor sleep, or we're a shift worker, or we're super stressed, it's going to affect our hormones. So what is the main hormone that causes the problem when it comes to stress?
Predominantly cortisol.
Okay.
You think still.
Okay. And how does cortisol affect a man's hormones?
Well, it has effects on your testosterone and your growth hormone predominantly.
Okay.
And so that's why I look at the heart rate variability. So I guess this is where heart rate variability comes in. That's a measure of your autonomic nervous system. It's a measure of your sympathetic versus your parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic being fight and flight, parasympathetic being rest and digest.
Okay.
So sympathetic, I like to think, is foot on the pedal, and that's from your day, your meetings, traffic, hectic life, normal life,
panic,
corona, anxiety, all of that is sympathetic. Parasympathetic, now you've eaten dinner, blood flow is going to your intestines to process your dinner, to rest and digest. It's preparing for sleep. Recovery, it's the big recovery modality. So that's what I use with the athletes, and to see how recovered they are the following day and how prepared they are for exercise that day or training. But for us, it's to see how prepared we are for the next day. We recovered from this day and we're ready for the next day. So then it can be a guide as to now if your heart rate variability is down, should be up. If your baseline 60, you want to see that things are above. If it's depressed, it could mean that now you've got maybe more cortisol in the system that should have been being cleared, which would then maybe affecting your testosterone, dampening your testosterone and your growth hormone, which, as we know, leads to things like fatigue and decreased performance, both in the workplace
and in the bedroom.
Your libido, might be down, fatigued, decreased muscle gains, depression,
mood
issues, exactly.
Cool. It's kind of similar with women. The hormone that's affected predominantly, not the only one, it's cortisol is pretty powerful, but it affects progesterone, which is normally spikes around day 14, like post your ovulation time. And progesterone is actually a calming hormone. It's sort of meant to prepare the body for pregnancy, thicken the lining. But cortisol and progesterone compete for a sort of in the making department, and cortisol always wins. So if you're super stressed, you need more cortisol, and then your progesterone levels are really, really low. So you can end up with lining issues and also mood issues as well. Feeling like more stress because you're not having that calming effect of progesterone on top of the cortisol. But then the other thing that affects what that stress affects is obviously what we put in our stomachs or what we eat. So most hormones are sort of broken down and gotten rid of when the body doesn't need it in the gut, estrogen being one of the main ones. And if we're putting rubbish into our stomachs, we can stop sort of releasing and getting rid of estrogen. And is that the same with men? Also the guts. So in these super stressful times, obviously what we eat is really important, because it makes sure that we can discard or get rid of the hormones that the body doesn't need. Okay, so if we go back to sleep and the effect of stress on sleep, Al's had his watch for about a year. I've had mine for a week. And obviously, of the two of us, he's what you would say a worse sleeper than me. I think there's many reasons, but probably just genetics as well. I don't know if genetics is linked to sleep. We should find that out.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But I sleep a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it's much lighter. I roll over, especially now being pretty large and pregnant. He wakes up all the time, whereas I can literally die. But he's been quite focused on our evening routine and how he can hack that and ensure that we sleep better. So can you just tell us a little bit about what you do in the evenings?
Yeah, sure. And you must help me here, because there's quite a few things that we do that have become quite sort of natural now. I think lighting has always been a big thing. I hate blue light, so make sure that we have warm lighting everywhere in the house.
Yeah.
And the lighting drops as the evening sort of goes to the point where we end up that it's just the 2 candles by the TV kind of thing that are left on. We have incense burning pretty much continually it's just starting to prepare your mind and your brain that it's getting towards bedtime. We make sure we don't watch TV at least an hour before bed. Some nights we don't have TV, that we just have music playing. One of the main things I've seen is if we do a mindfulness session before bed. Sometimes I've done yoga, it's like between 8 and 9 here, and the sleep that I have after that is incredible.
We've got that red light thing on our phones.
Yeah, there's a hidden red light function in iPhone. Just search iPhone red light. That's actually all you needed function.
And we've actually put the triple click on our home button as a shortcut to get it.
Yeah.
So as the night falls, we've both got a red light on our phones.
The red light cuts out all the blue light. So blue light's like in the daytime now. That's telling your brain it's daytime, so you don't need to produce melatonin. Nighttime is supposed to, now your brain knows it's nighttime's melatonin, so when you see the red light on your phone, it's cut out all the blue light. It's starting to prep your brain that you're producing your own melatonin.
We're quite good with our phones though. We have a upstairs and downstairs, so when we go upstairs for dinner to sleep, all our devices stay downstairs.
Yeah, no devices in the bedroom, and we don't predominantly look at the devices in the evening.
No, we try
anyway.
Not to.
The bedroom temperature should be set at between 16 and 18 degrees, which
doesn't happen
ain't
for me.
Gonna happen there.
He even wants to sleep on a cold mat.
Chili pad.
Called a chili pad that you put in your bed and you sleep on it, and it's meant to make you sleep better.
This is actually an interesting thing though, because then you get these heavy duvets and you sleep under the duvet with this heavy weighted duvet with a chili pad underneath, and it's supposed to improve your sleep, but
not good for passion.
Not gonna happen anytime soon.
The lavender
drops on the pillow, and we infuse the lavender in the room as well with the diffuser. We don't take anything.
Books?
Yeah, we read books to fall asleep. So we look at like how quickly you fell asleep also the next day. You don't want to be falling asleep like this. It means that you're overtired or you've drunk alcohol too much or whatever, that you're falling asleep too quickly. It must be a gradual process. So we read and get tired and slowly drift off to sleep.
And then obviously Al's tried CBD, not possible in Dubai, but he has tried that, and we'll look at supplements as well at another stage, but that can be something too.
It's the main.
So I think that's kind of the main stuff. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. There's probably a few other things we've forgotten to talk about, but we can mention them another
Yeah.
time.
If anyone wants more info, just shout. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Thanks, Al, for your insight.
Yeah, pleasure. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks.
It's
37. Lots of
glass
love.
of something, sparkling water.
Woohoo!